I don't think that Fringe is necessarily, you know, like the Twilight Zone, but I mean, I think it's influenced enormously by the Twilight Zone and a number of other movies and shows and books. But at the core, I guess, because my favorite Twilight Zone episodes were incredibly odd incidents that ultimately involved great characters, where there was the great episodes had kind of a morality or an irony that connected to the core of who these people are. I feel like, you know, Fringe will let us do that more often than, you know, certainly Alias did, but I'm not sure if it's more often than Lost, with the exception that, you know, because Lost is about the characters, the main characters, even more than, you know, they don't have the week-to-week mission, essentially. What I love about where Fringe is going is in the episodes that we've been, you know, working on, the crazy stuff that happens is always character related. I think that might be true, but I feel like, you know, if we don't, you know, keep doing stuff and making things, then, you know, the anticipation will even be greater for whatever that next thing is. And I sort of feel like the best way to, you know, sort of exercise is to do it constantly. And so I feel like I'm trying to, you know, when there's a creative impulse, to not think about and get sort of, you know, paralyzed by any sense of what's expected or what, you know, people think might happen. So of course I'm always nervous that something won't work or people won't like it or won't do well or whatever. But the truth is that, you know, this didn't come from, I want to do a show that gets good ratings. This came from, I want to do a show that tells the story. I knew he had this movie that he was working on with Drew, and I begged him. I was like, you know, please, like, can we, you know, work on it together? You know, I was hoping, and they, you know, for obvious reasons, wanted to go elsewhere and did. But I'm such a huge fan of Joss's, and I've known him, you know, a little bit for years, and you know, working with him would be such a dream. So I would love it. But he's got such a, he has such a specific kind of a voice that I sort of feel like, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if he'd ever want to work with me, but I would love to work with him. We have a couple really interesting things we're working on. One thing that I, you know, can talk about is this a comedy with Cheri Oteri that is really funny. This guy, Mike Markowitz, wrote that's just crazy funny. And I've never worked on something that is an out-and-out comedy. And reading this script was such a joy because it's just crazy funny, and so that would be a show that I think would be a wonderful show to see come to life and happen. I think that, you know, she is someone who she's so brilliant and has been kind of, you know, off the radar essentially since Saturday Night Live, and she was one of the funniest people I'd ever seen on that series, you know, that's been on for 30 years. I mean, she's genius. So I really think that she, as part of an ensemble, is, you know, she's like an opportunity waiting to happen. So I'm just dying to get her show on the air. And then movie-wise, we have a few things we're playing with that we have a comedy that Aline Bosch McKenna wrote called Morning Glory that, you know, we're working on a passing script. I think it's going to be great. And a couple other really cool ideas. We have some things that I'm, you know, as I get closer, I'm sure I'll be talking to you about. I do TV because I love TV. I mean, it's someone asked that question in the panel, you know, why do you do TV when you're doing these movies? It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, I feel lucky that TV will have me. So I'm you know, again, we'll see what people's reactions are to the show, but I love the idea of tracking these characters over a long period of time. Just was saying today that, you know, when you see a moment that, you know, a character has or something an actor does, and it's in episode 3 or 4 or whatever, and it's such a weird thing because what you know so well is that hour pilot or 2-hour pilot that you've been working on. Suddenly you see them alive, and it's almost like having a kid and watching them do things independent of you. It's the weirdest thing, but you think, wow, this is like, it's this organic thing, and you're seeing something that they do, and then you start writing to that. Then they start working. You know, it's a very interesting like dialogue you have with the actors. It's cool. The only show that I will tell you that, you know, I, you know, desperately love is Mad Men. I love it.
Psyched for season 2.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
I could actually see you as a character on Mad Men.
Literally,
the glasses.
If Weiner would ask me, I would do anything to be on that show. I never want to act. I don't, the people don't deserve that. But to be on that show would be like the biggest thrill. That would be my favorite thing in the world.
You'd have to start smoking.
I can't do it. I can't do it.